Namaste and welcome to Sutra Network, your trusted link to news, views, and stories that matter. Here we'll untangle the threads of today's biggest headlines and deeper issues. Today we'll explore major news shaping the world and India. Why is the US pressuring India over Russian oil? How is Netanyahu responding to Palestinian recognition at the UN? When and why were curfew and Section 163 imposed in Ladakh? How is China defending the UN against Trump? Why are India's domestic stocks performing well despite global pressure? Who is Ahmed al-Shara and how did he address the UN? What caused Pakistan cricket controversy with India? US Secretary of Energy Chris Wright has urged India to avoid buying oil from Russia, arguing that discounted Russian oil indirectly funds Moscow's war in Ukraine. Speaking at a press conference, Rice said India can purchase oil from any country but should not source it from Russia. Noting that India buys Russian oil because it is cheaper, he stressed that the US is not trying to punish India but wants to stop the conflict. Emphasizing that energy trade can continue with other nations, Rice's comments echoed from President Trump's warning that India, China, and Turkey were fueling the Russian war through sanctioned oil imports. Despite this, he highlighted America's desire to strengthen energy and diplomatic ties with India. India, meanwhile, defended its Russian oil purchases as a market-driven decision, prioritizing affordability and energy security, and trade talks with the US are ongoing. While the US concern about Russian oil funding the Ukraine war is valid, India's stance reflects practical energy needs and affordability. It's a delicate balance between global diplomacy and domestic energy security, and dialogue rather than pressure seems the most constructive approach. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressing the UN voted to denounce world leaders who recognized a Palestinian state, declaring there will be no Palestinian state. He rejected European moves, defended Israel's Gaza offensive, and praised the idea. Netanyahu is set to meet President Donald Trump in Washington to discuss hostage recovery, defeating Hamas, and post-war peace efforts. The recognition of Palestine by 6 European nations has drawn international attention, despite Trump warning it would reward Hamas. French President Macron criticized the US for not using its influence to end the war. Meanwhile, Trump is engaging regional leaders, including from Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and Egypt, to discuss post-war governance and security in Gaza. Authorities in Leh have imposed a curfew, while Section 163 has been enforced in Kargil following violent protests demanding statehood and sixth schedule protection for Ladakh. Clashes left 4 dead and 70 injured. The Ministry of Home Affairs blamed activist Sonam Wangchuk for inciting unrest and misleading the public, despite ongoing dialogue through the high-powered committee, which has increased tribal reservations and recognized global languages. Prohibitory orders restrict rallies, speeches, and public messages without permission. A ministry team will visit Leh to assess the situation and meet local leaders. The next high-powered committee meeting is scheduled for October 6 to continue discussions. China defended the United Nations, emphasizing its essential role in global stability, peace, and development. In response to US President Donald Trump's criticism at the UN General Assembly, Chinese Foreign Minister spokesperson Guo Jiakun highlighted the UN's 80-year record and stressed the importance of upholding its authority. He reaffirmed China's commitment to working with member states to strengthen the UN's role, citing initiatives like the Global Development Initiative, which has engaged over 130 countries and international organizations. While India's Nifty IT index has fallen about 19% due to H-1B visa hikes, US tariffs, and AI-driven disruptions, other sectors are thriving. Nifty Bank, Nifty Auto, and Nifty India consumption have risen 8 to 19%, boosted by GST rate cuts and domestic demand. Policy shifts favoring consumption and rationalized taxes are spurring growth in banks, consumer goods, and infrastructure. Investors are rotating away from global-facing IT firms to a sector supported by resilient local demand. Despite being Asia's fastest major stock market, India's domestic-focused stocks are showing strong performance amid global uncertainty. This trend highlights India's growing economic resilience, while global-facing sectors like IT face external pressure from US trade and visa policies. The strength of domestic consumption-driven industry shows that India's internal market can act as a buffer. Policymakers focus on boosting demand through GST cuts and support for banks, auto, and consumer goods is paying off, making these sectors attractive for investors. It also suggests that India's long-term growth may increasingly only rely on its domestic market rather than external factors. Ahmad al-Sharaa, formerly Al-Qaeda leader Abu Muhammad al-Jalani, became the first Syrian president in nearly 6 decades to address the UN General Assembly following Bashar al-Assad's ouster. In December 2024, born in Riyadh in 1982, he joined jihadist movement early, led the Al-Nusra Front during Syria's civil war, and was once designated a terrorist by the US. In 2016, he broke away from Al-Qaeda, rebranding his group as Hayat Tahrir al-Sham and himself as Ahmad al-Sharaa, meeting world leaders including US President Donald Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. He sought sanctions relief under the Caesar Act and emphasized Syria's return to the international community, marking a historic shift in the country's leadership. Pakistan has broken its silence after Harish Rauf and Sahibzada Farhan sparked outrage with provocative gestures against India during the Asia Cup 2025 Super 4 match. Rauf mimicked a fighter jet and displayed 6-0, while Farhan celebrated a 50 with a hostile gesture. Fast bowler Shaheen Afridi defended the act, saying they reflected team aggression and morale, not a deliberate plan to provoke. Despite off-field tensions, Pakistan remains focused on upcoming matches with a potential India-Pakistan final on the cards if both teams beat Bangladesh. The US President of Justice has asked Google to break up key parts of its digital advertising business, claiming it monopolizes the market through platforms like AdX and Google Ad Manager. The DOJ argues a structural breakup could restore competition and reduce ad costs by 10 to 20%. Google opposes the move, warning it could harm innovation and market efficiency. Meanwhile, Google has appealed an injunction in the Epic Game case, which could force it to allow more competition in the Play Store and Android ecosystem. This legal battle could have major implications for Google's mobile dominance. On a positive note, China quietly ended its antitrust probe into Google, though the US cases continue. The DOJ's actions, combined with AI-driven ad growth, make the upcoming months crucial for Google's business model and market control. Now, time for today's piece of information. Do you know that Finland is the happiest country on earth? According to the World Happiness Report, it has been for 6 years in a row. It's not really surprising given that Finland is the home of Santa Claus reindeer and one sauna for every 1.59 people. For more such global updates, subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and do visit our website.